Hi everybody, Laura here for Simon Says Stamp. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've got a fun celebratory project to share with you featuring the new Bunch of Balloons background cling. It just came out in the latest Be Creative release with Simon Says Stamp. And I'm going to emboss this big Bunch of Balloons background cling in clear on a panel of white cardstock. So I have my MISTI ready to go, and the base of my MISTI is already nice and sticky from previous projects. So I lay down a panel of Hammermill white cardstock, flip over the base of my MISTI, and I know I have my cardstock where it needs to be. Okay, to prep the cardstock before you emboss, I like to rub it down with a magic powder bag. And then I'm using Simon Says Stamp clear embossing ink, and I'm going to ink up this Bunch of Balloons background cling. There's a lot of fun techniques you can do with this background cling. You could stamp it tone on solid color cardstock. You could watercolor with it or ink blend with it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do Emboss Resist, one of my favorite techniques in all the land. So I'm going to pour on Simon Says Stamp clear embossing powder. You could also use white, but I have just preferred using clear for years, and that's what I'm doing. I'm pouring this on a little sheet of scrap paper. That way I can funnel all that embossing powder back in my little tub. Okay, once I got that ready to go, I've got my heat gun piping hot and ready to rock and roll. I really love embossing on this glass mat. It's really handy dandy. I don't have to worry about it warping or anything like that. I also love ink blending on the glass mat. Been using it more and more lately. Okay, I'm going to start at the bottom of my emboss panel with Cadet, a great, just happy blue. It's just a classic, kind of a blue jean, perfect blue. Okay, but one thing I do like to do, and this is another reason why I love the glass mat, I like to clean it off. That way when I move on to the next color, I'm not picking up that blue and I can get a true green. So I'm doing Limalicious, and we're going to try to get a smooth transition between the two. So first you lay down. This is kind of like, I was just watching before this, so it's in my mind, watching videos of girls do eyeshadow, and they always they lay down at first kind of a base coat, then they go in with another shade, and then they go back with that other shade and they blend the two together. Same concept here. I went back in with Cadet, tried to get a seamless transition between Cadet and Limalicious. And then now for the third color, Lemonade. Okay, so if you haven't noticed, we're going in rainbow order. Can't resist it. Can't stop, won't stop. Okay, does anybody else like makeup, like watching makeup videos? I do. I think if you're kind of creative and you like, art of any kind, you probably like watching makeup videos. I do. I like watching people do eyeshadow. I really do. I remember when I was younger, walking through the department store when they had the makeup section. I'm talking like Clinique, Estee Lauder, where the beautiful women stand behind the counter and they can give you a makeover and show you the samples. I used to just watch those ladies, and I noticed their makeup was so perfect. I knew it at a young age. I'm like, wow, they really know how to put that makeup on. And my mom used to give me all her like old makeup that she didn't want anymore, and I used to save. I had a little suitcase, and like a little travel suitcase she gave me, and it was full of old makeup, and I'd sit around. And by the way, I'm blending Peony, and I did Peachy, and I did Lemonade, and I'm trying to transition all of these colors together to make a real smooth rainbow blend. But back to the makeup. I used to sit around and just dabble and do all kinds of funky makeup looks. And my mom would just let me, she was like, just so you know, you're never going to leave the house with that, but you can have all the fun you want. And I did. Then I remember when I got into high school, I wanted to start wearing some funky eyeshadow. And she was like, oh, Laura, you're killing me, girl. Because I'd put on some funky colors. Okay. I'm going to make a little camouflage shaker window here with one of the nested domed arch dies. I chose one that kind of fit the space nicely, and I die cut that right into this blended panel. So we're going to make a shaker card, but I didn't want to lose all that beautiful rainbow blend. So I'm going to tape the inner dome down onto my white card base. So flat onto the white card base. I kind of situated that so I knew it would be centered correctly. And then I'm going to take out the outer dome part, flip it over, and add some of this new clear acetate sheet. These are the lightweight acetate sheets also just came out in the latest Be Creative release, and I really, really love them. They're perfect for shakers. Using a little bit of this Terrific, kind of like score tape, and using that to adhere the acetate. You could also use tape runner or liquid glue, whatever adhesive tickles your fancy. Okay, slap down that adhesive, and then now I'm going to add some foam adhesive strips all around the perimeter to hold in the shaker filler. Okay, back to high school. I used to wear blue and pink and red. Crazy. I tried to do rainbow eyeshadow sometimes. I used to wear funky clothes. I had some lime green Guess jeans back in the day. Oh yeah, now all I wear is black and gray. But that's okay. I saved my bright colors for the card making. Okay, for the shaker filler, I just did some very clear sequence because I didn't want to compete with already that rainbow background. So there you have, I call this a camouflage shaker because you've got your blended panel, but it's still a shaker. Now for a sentiment, I'm using this Make-A-Wish word die. It has the backer shadow, but I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to use that word die by itself. I'm die cutting it into some matte silver cardstock. The reason I didn't use the backer is because I really don't want to cover much of that background. I want it to show through all that blending, all the rainbow, all the happiness, and the shaker filler, the party. So I did put some little slivers of foam tape, sing it with me, because dimension is life. Okay, the thing about this card that I really like, it's not overly feminine, it's not overly masculine. Either way, it's just Make-A-Wish rainbow balloons, camouflage shaker coming at you. Right? And I hope you enjoyed this video. All the supplies that I listed will be listed in the description box below. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.
Hi there, I'm Heidi, Simon's mama and founder at simonsaysstamp.com. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.